I'm Stephen Ross. I'm the Superintendent of Schools for Western School Division in Morton, Manitoba, Canada. And I came into Coach Centric Leadership through an invitation by a former superintendent in Manitoba who's now running the program here. And he offered a cohort for superintendents in Manitoba. And it was an opportunity to grow some skills. I think after the first session, there's a lot of thinking that was going on throughout that time. And when I left the session after that, certainly we had a very high energy trainer during that session. And he really engaged us and got us very excited about the program and what was happening with that. But I think it really got my mind going that first session. And there were a lot of changes that started to happen pretty quickly in my thinking around that had some impact both on me, but also on our system as we moved ahead. I think what the training helps you with personally is it helps you understand that everything isn't a win-lose battle. And so it helps you really think about when you're engaging in a conversation with someone, even if it's someone in your own family, or with colleagues at work, that there doesn't have to be a cost to the conversation. And so I think that's a really important part about the training and the understanding is knowing that you can go into that conversation and, match energy levels in a way that helps that conversation move ahead a little bit more quickly and positively for everybody involved. And that it doesn't have to be both family relationships and work relationships can be wrought with conflict. And I think that this is a good tool for people to have. I think that's probably being the most impactful part right now for me and for us and where we're at with this. We had just come off a few months prior a divisional strategic plan that was going to carry forward for 4 years. And just before school started was when this training session was, and we were just getting ready to sort of start rolling out the implementation part of this plan. And planning had happened, as it has every other time, as it happens everywhere else. And it was sort of board-driven, senior admin driven, and then going to be pushed down to staff. And I think after that first weekend, what really resonated with me is that over the time I've been in this job, we spent a great deal of effort and time hiring fantastic people. And what I realized is that with our great, fantastic people, they don't require management. You kind of get out of their way and you support them and you help them in what they do. And so what I did immediately that first weekend coming back is I changed the structure of our strategic plan, how it was going to happen at the school level. And basically our administrators are split into 2 teams. And what happens during our admin days, these used to be full day principal administration days that were sort of information driven meetings and all of those parts. Those days now only go till noon, and the afternoon our administrators break into teams and they are now creating and driving the board strategic plan. And because they're so invested in it, some of them have then used that model in their own school. And so we're just seeing amazing things happen in our school system. So Coach Centric Leadership leads in for this because my role now during those afternoons is to act as a coach in those meetings. So I come back and forth between the 2 meetings and I try and use the skills I've learned through Coach Centric Leadership to help the thinking of the participants in those groups further along. And so that's been really amazing to see happen this year. And I know that our school board is just overwhelmed with the difference that they're seeing. So that's, I think, the biggest change that we're seeing, and we're just coming to the end of our first year of that. So it's quite exciting times ahead. Well, this model is happening, and I think this is the future benefit for some of this training and programming for our staff is that, a couple of our schools right now have used this model and replicated it in their own schools. And so now they have their teachers in the classroom on their planning days, working in teams, creating the future based on the future plans that have been developed elsewhere. But in essence, the teachers are driving the boat, and the teachers are setting the agenda. And everything that our teams asked for in budget this year, the board supported 100%. It's pretty hard to say no to things that are so greatly created. And so where Coach Centric Leadership comes in for that for teachers is, I think the next step is to maybe have our administrators trained with some better coaching skills, and then to be able to pick out some teacher leaders that can work through that too. Yeah, I think that it's a very good program to recommend to other system leaders. I just can attest to the change it's personally had for me as a leader. I know I handle situations with staff differently myself. I tend to now look at every situation as not a win-lose situation, but as a growth opportunity. And so I think that takes a lot of emotion out of a lot of different kinds of meetings and different things as you go ahead. And seeing the benefits of what's happening with our planning initiative, I think that, the power of what we do in education is people. And so what Coach Centric Leadership can do is it can unleash that potential in your staff. And so I think that's what system leaders really should be doing, is more coaching and modeling instead of directing. And so, I think leadership today is more about walking beside and walking behind than dragging people behind you. And I think that's what Coach Centric Leadership allows.